and welcome to the Drawing Animal Podcast with Wesley Bear. I am your host, Wesley Bear, and on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the rarely seen and not very well known African giant otter shrew. So yes, there is such a creature as an otter shrew. Now, they are neither otter nor shrew, but they do belong to the same group with shrews, just in a different family. So there is the order or group, I forget where in the class order it is exactly, but there's a giant group of mammals called the Insectivorae, and this includes shrews, moles, hedgehogs, and then another group of insectivores called tenrecs, which we will probably talk about at another time. And then there are the otter shrews. These are semi-aquatic dwelling insectivorae. And in case you are wondering, yes, insectivorae means they feed on insects. Otter shrews don't really feed on insects, but we will get to what they truly feed on in a minute. But yes, there are three species, one of which is also called the Namibia otter shrew, and then there is one other that's named after a region and river in Africa where it dwells near. But the most common and the largest of the three species is the African otter shrew. The African otter shrew, despite being named giant, is really not all that giant. It is only about 2 feet in length, with about half of that being tail, and they are less than 2 pounds in weight. So actually, they're actually small and quite cute, with their flat head and kind of otter-shaped looking body. But the reason they are called giant is because most shrews, true, or what are known as true shrews, are only about a couple inches in length. So in comparison to its shrew cousins, it's quite big. This creature is mostly found, along with its cousins, along fast-moving rivers, but can also enjoy slow-moving rivers and even swamps. Unlike some other mammals that are webbed-footed, an otter shrew is not webbed-footed. So when you look at an otter, for example, a real otter, they have webbed feet. Or like when we think of birds, we think of ducks with webbed feet. That's helpful for paddling around. But otter shrews do not have that. Instead, they have long bladed like tail that makes for excellent cutting through the waters, and it acts basically like a rudder on a boat, or like a fish's tail that moves back and forth. So that back and forth motion that easily slides through the water allows the otter shrew to propel itself forward and underneath the water. It is able to stay underwater for a couple of minutes, about up to 4 or 5 minutes, in which time it goes about hunting for its food, which mainly includes crabs, frogs, and fish, and maybe an occasional aquatic insect, but that is rare, with their main food being fish. And so, underwater, their eyes remain mostly closed, as well as their nostrils, which of course helps to keep water out. So they cannot really see, nor they can really smell underwater. Instead, they use their long whiskers, pretty much like otter, to detect food. Anything that comes in close contact or in direct contact with those whiskers pick up the electromagnetic pulse that the creature emits. All creatures produce this effect, but mostly aquatic creatures produce it even more so, and especially fish. And so that electromagnetic field is what the otter shrew detects with its whiskers, and thus is able to find and catch prey. So that's about all we have on otter shrews, because they're scarcely populated animal, and there's just not been a lot of study done. They are widespread, so they're thought to be maybe somewhat common, but the data has just not been there to confirm how rare or how common otter shrews are in the wild. And there's actually very few to none in captivity. So there you are. That is the giant African otter shrew. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to enjoy nature and to enjoy drawing. Have a wonderful day, and go out and enjoy God's creation. Have a wonderful day.